So, yeah, today I think we're just going to talk about heuristic evaluation. So
Hmm.
actually, the way that this came up was a little bit interesting in that there was someone who wanted their existing web app kind of looked at and evaluated how they can make it better. He was the head of product and also like ran the design team. So as he was explaining it to me, it was a medical application, right? So he was explaining it to me,
Hmm.
and he was saying, "I know that we have like 20 things that kind of have an issue, but if you can help show me like the three or four that would be most impactful and why, like that would be great." So I was like, "Okay,
Hmm.
cool," And so I talked to Munju's company Ionics, and immediately the designer's like, "Oh, you like he's looking for a heuristic evaluation," and I was like, "Oh, yes, sure, okay, right,
Sure.
yeah." So I thought it would be good to kind of get your expertise on what it is. So I don't want to dive into like too much of the theory, right? Like if people want to study heuristic evaluation, they can literally Google it, go online, look at Wikipedia, which I have just briefly done here. So yeah, so the heuristic evaluation, just as like a real quick thing before I have you go over for an example, it's really it it's just a methodology that lets you identify usability problems in the user interface for anything, website, web app, anything like that.
Hmm.
So there is a kind of evaluator who will examine the interface and judge it with, basically different universally kind of recognized principles, which are the heuristics. It is now
Yep.
apparently so now it's apparently taught in schools, which you can speak to maybe about being a professor, but really the main goal is to identify any problems associated with the design of user interfaces. So I don't want to
Hmm.
go again too deep into the theory here. I will just back off of this. So yeah, overall we are just trying to get a little bit of understanding on what heuristic evaluation is now that we kind of know what the Wikipedia says about it, um, and how to kind of perform them. I thought it would be fun to kind of spring a website on you that you are completely unprepared for, and ask you to do a couple
All
tasks and
right.
see how that goes. So I was thinking if you want to share your screen, I will send you, or I'll just tell you a website to go to. So I basically started using this website recently. It is chess.com, like the board game chess. So I found
Okay.
I found a lot of kind of usability issues once I signed up for it. So kind of the two tasks I would ask you to kind of share, and and rather than get into the theory of like, this is, part of step 7 where blah blah blah, just to kind of talk through your experience. So I think the two things would be interesting for me to see and for you to explain as you do. One would be to sign up, and the second would be to add me as a friend on the website. So
Okay.
all right. So I guess the first step here now is to ask you to sign up for the website.
Okay. So, if I have this task that I need to perform, in this case, I'm looking to sign up. Sign up probably would be some type of button somewhere. Uh, got a menu here. It looks like there's a button there that says sign up. It seems pretty straightforward. Click on that, and there it goes. Join now. It's free and easy.
Okay.
Username, email, password, skill level. I can even sign up using Google, Facebook, Apple ID if I have those. Uh, let's kind of go old school way. All
Yep.
right, so we'll just create uh, a username. And one thing I'm already noticing as I'm typing this, right, it's letting me know that a username is taken. So this is good.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and and this is actually um, something that's important for
Okay.
me to look for. It's like, is this going to prevent me from making mistakes? Is this going to give me information as I'm going along instead of waiting till the very end? So to do this kind of live as it's happening, that's a thumbs up, I would say there. Um, and it's just going to keep doing that. And then it gets to the point where I do have a unique name, so then I get that check mark. That's good. So it's kind of giving me the green light there, or the green check. All right, so let's put an email in. I wonder what would happen. Aha, okay, cool. So that's another thing that I would look for here, right? So, okay, this is not valid because obviously I don't have a .com. Yeah, so it's looking for a particular format. Okay, so let's go to hotmail.com. Okay, and I get the green check. And of course, with the password, it looks like I've got the ability for to make it visible or not. That's kind of good. Well, I'll just make one of it.
Yeah, let's just move
I'll just remember what it is. Right. So see, that's what I'm running into here, right? Is
but you know, one thing I'll say is that I like this kind of newer thing where they only ask for your password once. If you remember, old signups were like re-enter password, right? So you had to enter it twice. Nowadays,
they didn't have to match.
Yeah, and so nowadays they only ask for it once because they have your email. So if you actually typed something wrong in your password, you could just reset your password with your email. Only if you typed the wrong email and wrong password would you not be able to get your username back. But then it was signed up to the wrong email. So
yeah, that's kind of the way they realized they could go with the like the two-factor would actually be email and the one password as opposed to having to type it twice.
Sure. All right, so let's
go with beginner. I know how it goes, but I'm not.
Okay.
I don't think I'm at these levels.
Yeah.
Just to be honest.
Okay.
So let's create the free account.
Yep.
I'm also getting that good feedback where I know my mouse is on there. It's good. I see. Okay.
Ooh. So
Chess.com premium for free. So now it's asking me to start a trial, or I can skip the trial. It's giving me some reasons to go premium. Let's skip it for now.
Okay. Now, what you need to do is you need to add me as a friend. So that is the next one.
All right. So
I will.
So I'll come here and I want to go play with a friend, and well, let's kind of start with kind of the menus. That's where I would go and just kind of look for, okay, I can play. There's even puzzles I can learn how to play. Today there's some streamers I guess I could watch. That's connect. Maybe that's it. Let me try to click on connect and see. No thanks on notifications. And now it looks to me that connect is actually meaning look at what other people are saying. This looks like some type of forum. So that's not what I was expecting. Oh, wait a minute. This thing popped out. So if I clicked on it, it took me to the forum, but now this thing pops out and friends. Do I have friends? Find friend, invite friend.
Okay.
Okay. So that was a little bit tricky. You had to kind of notice that this thing popped out. From a menu point of view too, one thing that maybe why I lost visibility of it is that as a menu, what I'm used to is when I select a menu, the options usually would appear just to the right.
Okay.
Kind of, so like forums, clubs, friends usually would start here, I would imagine.
Okay.
So
and the other thing I just noticed was that when you mouse over connect, you see the icon for connect. It's actually the icon for forums. So when you click on connect, it just takes you to forums is what it looks like. Whereas right? So that's not intuitive. That's a little bit confusing. So I actually took a long time to find out how to add a friend. I was literally sitting next to someone and trying to navigate through, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing here. So that's why I wanted to kind of so now see if you could add me. So try to add my username.
Okay. So invite friends, invite a friend, email, social media, friend link, challenge link. not sure if that's where I need to go. Unless I look for you. No, but that was already there. That's if I want to send it to somebody.
Yeah.
What happens if I go here?
The other thing with that friend link, it's explanation. So this is like
Oh.
joining their Discord. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not what I
Yeah.
want.
And if you look
Yeah,
at the
and I figured that wasn't it.
If you look at the friend link explanation, it says send this link to anyone. If you go down, they will become your friend when they sign up. So for me, when I saw that, my thought process was like, this is for someone who's not signed up to the platform, right?
Oh.
Right.
Wait, so what is this? Am I looking? I'm inviting you because
Well,
you're
so
supposedly not signed up.
well, this use case is basically like I came to you, was like, hey Eric, play with I'm on chess.com. Why don't you play with me? So the first thing you did was you signed up. Now you're trying to add me as a friend to play with me, right?
Oh, because you're already there.
Yeah, I already exist
Yeah.
because I'm the one who told you to sign up and then play with me. So
Yeah. So when I read this, this to me means this isn't going to do what I want because you're already signed up.
right, that's what it sounds
That's
like.
how
Right?
I read that.
Based on the thing you see.
That's how I read that.
Okay.
So, not really sure. I mean, I guess the last ditch would be to go in here and look for you through this search. Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm going to be turning 42 this year.
Oh, all right. Well,
Yeah.
hope it's the best. All right, and there's
Oh,
me.
there you are.
Okay, so
that was odd.
that was
that
super
I had
odd
to
here,
use.
yeah. And it was like off to the side. It wasn't like the main thing. It was like very weirdly placed, I felt. So what do you think about the placement and usability, I guess, of that?
Yeah, so let's just go back one, right? So yeah, it's kind of, you've got these cards, and first of all, it's like the consistency of the size and the shape of these cards. First of all, I'm looking at this as like, oh, does this have something to click on too? Because these kind of look like they're just each thing is a different way to do it, but turns out that this is actually just a header. So I wouldn't put it in this card. It should have its own separate header that separates it from these different ways of connecting. And then of course, like, get a challenger to your friend to a game, right? I mean, invite it. There's just an inconsistency I see there. The word invite and like, I'm looking for someone, right?
Right.
And so I would expect, if you're already on there, I wouldn't be going to invite. Let me actually go back one more. Oh, maybe I should have gone here. Find friends. What happens here? Search or username.
But it also has like a
And
Facebook
so-
friends and weird stuff there too, like
42. And there you do show up.
Mhm.
And does it take me to that same screen?
Yeah, now it's a little bit weird again, right? Because does that add friend button add the friend, or what? Like, what happened now?
Yeah. Dr. 42. And the thing is, I clicked on it, and so to me, I didn't get a confirmation there of like, okay, like, I still have to click this button.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back again. I also just totally overlooked this thing that says search friends. All right, so find friends, search friends. Isn't that the same?
I don't think so. I think this is searching for your, like, within your existing friend list, which is again confusing as heck.
Oh.
So like this is within your
Yeah.
friends. So like, yeah.
So if I had a list of friends, they'd be listed here. Yeah. Okay.
Like confusing, right?
See, that's confusing because even though they're using different words, they're not really making it clear that search among your existing friends, find new friends. And I know you're trying to be short with like, okay, 2 words, 2 words, 2 words, right? but um, yeah.
Hmm.
All right, so let's try it here because I know you showed up there, and that's again weird that I select that and
There's no
I
confirmation.
still
Yeah.
have to go in here. Oops. Well, it's good that I got that visibility. That meets a heuristic, but I don't know why that happened, so that's bad
Hmm.
because it doesn't. Your friend request could not be sent. Well, why? What
Yeah.
happened? Was there like a server issue? Did I
I
actually not select my friend?
as someone who has gone through the issue, I would say to continue on with the process, you might need to check your email that you signed up with before. But again, it's not clear that that's what needs to happen.
What?
Like I
Oh,
believe you have to confirm your email before you can add friends. So
let's see.
so again, like
They didn't tell me that.
they did
That
not.
wasn't part of the deal. Activate your account. Okay.
See, yeah, like again,
So,
it says activate your account where you're already logged in on the web, right? Like this is your account already logged in.
well, well, here's the thing that's missing with that, right? Is and only because I've recently gone through this a number of times, just like I've changed my email, as you know, and so I was going through and updating things, and um, when I would put in, say, a new email or sign up for a new service, immediately it would say right on the screen, even though I'm logged in, it would say, check your email, activate your account before uh, before moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
It'll still let you move around, but it gives you something right up
Yep.
front as soon as you sign up. Make sure you activate your account first
Mm-hmm.
because certain things aren't going to work if you don't, like making friends.
Right.
So uh, activate. And even when I did, now I ended up doing it on a different, and it went on a different screen. So let me see if I reload here, if there's any even indication that I'm activated. No. And I can tell you even on the other screen that showed up that I didn't really get a, great, you're activated, good job
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So that's something that's missing as far as like knowing status, right? That's another heuristic, knowing what the current status is. So you're kind of like in limbo here. You don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I guess, well, I know I clicked it. I know the page opened up on the other browser window, so I'll try again.
Aha. See,
Okay, there you go. Request has been sent
not
to be added to your friends
like
list.
clearly not the best way to do this. So now
Right.
I'll go to mychess.com real quick. Yeah, so like the thing is, if you look at kind of Van Erick, there you are. If you look at chess.com as a website, they today have how many users adding per day. I think they had 107,000 users, new users today. So this is
Mm-hmm.
their new user experience, which is poor, as we can say now, right? Like it's not easy unless you're just signing up to sign in and then like play random games against random people. A lot of it, like the way I signed up, was signing up with someone I know and saying, "Hey, let's play some chess on chess.com." And it took
Mm-hmm.
us forever to figure out all this stuff that you did. So, and even now, can you challenge me to a game now that we're friends? I accepted you. So now.
Oh. Uh, well, let's see. It probably has to do with playing. Oh, wait, something showed up at home.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? It grabbed my attention. I don't even know what the two stands for.
Looks like a
I see a
notification.
friend there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What does this mean?
There's me.
Oh, challenge, chat, message. Okay. So I would guess that's it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So if you click, so we want to actually play a game, but like, challenge me and let's see what the next menu comes up.
Whoops,
That's
clicked
okay.
on it. So, oh, there you go.
Okay.
Challenge persisted, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's actually a good thing, right? So when you initially start with an option,
Mm-hmm.
or what often might be like a menu, right? Like here's kind of a shortcut menu of things to do. And then I actually ended up, in this case, clicking here. That same menu persisted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now in that what turned out to be a profile view for the friend that was uh, uh, selected.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to know that you live in the Angles.
Los Angeles.
Um,
Yeah.
you should put Lost Angles, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
So now
let's
challenge me.
go
Let's see.
challenge you.
Mm-hmm. So now it's a little confusing. This is your first game playing on the website. What do you make of the screen here?
Well, the first thing that pops out on my is this wants my attention. You are rated -207. Try a balanced game to make it more even with material odds. Not sure what that means. I mean, all I know is that I am probably matched based off of your experience. Um, Other than that, oh, and then this thing grabbed my attention, which I don't want to do that. I want to.
Yeah.
I'm focused on this game, so it's kind of doing things to kind of take me away from the game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, you're up here, so that's you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down here, so it's kind of your typical, you know, first person view, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my mouse does change. Click and drag. No.
So if you notice, you don't have an opponent. It just says opponent right now. So
Oh,
you're still not. You haven't.
oh, we're not playing yet.
We're not playing.
But
yet.
it says versus. Oh, oh. So this is like I'm just sitting at the table,
Mm-hmm.
but I challenged you.
Yes.
So
Yes. You click challenge.
I thought
and
you, if I'm posing a challenge to somebody, doesn't the social construct I have in my brain is I challenge you, and then
Mm-hmm.
the other person says I accept or I reject your challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if I hit play, okay, okay. I guess there had been some issues in the past. Let's see.
All right.
Now,
Now I think I would have received the challenge. Let's see. Have I received the challenge?
oh, so
Oh, I haven't yet.
the challenge
I still have not.
the challenge gets received when I hit play.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, one thing I would feel like if I worked at chess.com is that basically there are a lot of issues for the new user experience, just on these few heuristics you just saw today, and just improving a few of these would go a long way, because ever since the Queen's Gambit aired on Netflix, chess has had like a pretty big boom, and they're having more than 100,000 new users per day, and the new user experience could definitely be improved,
hmm
like as we've seen right now. I'll just bring up a couple of things which we're not going to get into here, but on my first game, there's a little button when you're actually playing. You can make it unrated and challenge if you want, and I can show you that too. But basically, there's a little button that doesn't explain what it does. I clicked it, and it instantly forfeit the game without a confirmation box. So there's actually a setting that's like confirm resign, and that's not auto toggled on. So I literally accidentally resigned my first game. I was like, oh crap. And then I hit, so then it shows, Monis versus opponent, and then it says new game, and I said yes because I wanted to play the same person again, and it found me a random opponent to play rather than playing the same person. So then I had
Yep.
to resign that game and restart this whole process again. So it was really frustrating, and my rating dropped by like 1 million because I lost 2 games immediately. But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah,
That sounds like
yeah.
an issue just in general, like the stuff for today. It sounds like an issue of onboarding
Mm-hmm.
where it didn't, I mean, the first thing they showed you when you got in was sign up for premium, as opposed to like, well, if you're a pro, maybe you might want to consider premium, but if you're new here, then you probably should get used to how things run and maybe be onboarded and say, let's help you get to your first game. In fact, even better,
Mm-hmm.
why don't we simulate that? And so we can prevent some mistakes, kind of thing. And you could still make that designation of, oh, I'm actually a seasoned player. I just need some help with understanding this interface,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. And so, because there's some things, I mean, in some ways you can kind of look at an evaluation and say, well, you know, eventually are you able to complete the task, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are some cases where you wouldn't be able to complete it no matter what because the functionality is missing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there are other cases where you can eventually complete it because you'll learn the interface at some point. Um, and so then you can kind of get used to certain things. Uh, and what is the learning curve, right? And is it steep enough to where you potentially lose people, or is it challenging enough to where once you get it, you're like, okay, I know what I need to do next time.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. I'm gonna get used to this. I'm willing to go through that because of the um, reward or the experience of eventually getting to that point of playing the game and getting the experience you want out of this. So a lot of users tend to kind of overlook a lot of things, particularly if you're also getting something for free. Um, and so, which is kind of also weird because if there's a premium, um, then that should probably mean that the system itself should be fairly polished and the premium gives you even better stuff. But if, you know, yeah,
So I guess to wrap up, kind of, if you were hired to do this heuristic evaluation of chess.com and it was just the new user experience, would you basically evaluate, you know, similarly to what you did today, but of maybe like logging more things down, or would you kind of go through and list all the things and then pick the few that would make the most impact, or would you make suggestions? Can you just talk about kind of wrapping up like how
sure.
you would do this for chess.com for what you did today?
Right. Well, the first caveat that I would give, right, is with any heuristic evaluation, uh, that is one evaluator's experience, right? And so, kind of a more rigorous, or you might call traditional heuristic evaluation, is kind of like um, think of like peer research or um, what is it called? Like, I forgot what the term was when I was doing research in school, but uh, you would have a number of evaluators, usually 3 to 5, so that you can get, let's say, about 80 to 90% of the issues. Um, you get diminishing returns as you add more evaluators, but with this, so my first answer would be, I'm gonna uh, have the caveat that one person doing it might not get the 80 or 90%. Maybe it could get close. Um, so that's one thing. The other would be, yes, it would be more rigorous. So like what we did today, there were particular tasks performed, of course, under the whole focus on new user experience. And so, yeah, that usually is under particular tasks. But even then, right, for someone coming at it brand new, it could just simply be, I'm here, I want to, I just want to explore and do things and try things and understand what's going on here. And so I would actually go through either an official or a standard list of heuristics like the one Jacob Nielsen, um, uh, and and a lot of people use that. But there could also be a specific set of heuristics that if I'm being hired by chess.com, they have certain things that they're looking for, right? And so they might say, well, we are focused on retention, right? So then I would then work with them to work out, okay, here are certain heuristics that have to do with making sure someone doesn't just get lost as a user and say, I'm done with this system, I'm going to leave. And so what are the heuristics that we would kind of look for and set as like, these are the guidelines to help with retention.
Okay. And so,
okay,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, so I was gonna say, so is the ultimate output some kind of report, or is it just like a presentation or a like how does the heuristic evaluation conclude with chess.com in this example?
Yeah, so usually then, once that's conducted, we've gone through that heuristic and we're like, okay, here are all the findings. A report would be typical. I think ideal in person, if you can communicate that and give a presentation, that even be better, because you can then organize those thoughts in a way, as opposed to when you throw a report at somebody, then they're going to look at the report and they won't know like how to read that or how to prioritize the list or anything, unless you give them, how to read it. But generally reports are kind of you take it as you want to read it type of thing. That's how reports usually are accepted. So I would say ideally you would hand the report over and then give a presentation, and maybe even live demo shows some of the things that you ran into and say, hey, this is what happened when I clicked here. These are the findings there, kind of thing.
Got it.
In the case where you're not able to do that, you could be a little savvy and do some screen recordings and embed that into a presentation. Then they can see what's going on.
Okay, and so it sounds like it's a bit, more custom depending on what the original ask was. So for example, if chess.com purely said, your friend has asked you to create an account and challenge them to a game, and that's what they see in the majority of their 107,000 new users per day, how can we make this experience better versus how can we retain, because currently I'll just make up, 50% of our new users never log in again. How do we, increase that, or, something like that. So then those two asks would be kind of entirely different, correct?
Oh yeah, they would. Because the thing is, even if the first ask was the first thing posed to a heuristic evaluator, the question would still be, well, why do you care about the new user experience, right? So that we would dig a little bit deeper, and they would say, well, we were looking at some data and it showed this. Oh, so you care about retention? Yes. Okay. So that's kind of that conversation that you would have. And so hopefully that's something that would happen before the evaluation, so that it's not simply just, the client says, here's what I want you to evaluate, and then you just go do it. There should be some conversation, even a little bit back and forth, to try to better understand why is this evaluation being asked, right?
Okay, got it. Okay, cool. So I think I got a pretty good understanding of heuristic evaluation, and I think if anyone else needs to learn more, they can easily Google. And of course, if you think this is something that would benefit your website or your web app, We'll also have the info to contact us at Ionics. And you can also have Erick evaluate your website, your web app, or whatever you need. So thanks a lot, Professor, for joining us. And maybe me and you can get a game sometime this weekend or something. We'll see on chess.com.
Yes, just be kind. Just be kind.
Thanks for joining. And cool. We will talk again soon. All right, we'll see you.